Hey everyone, and welcome back to the boosnbays podcast. I'm your host Jace. This is Madison, and today we're talking about the very, very popular conspiracy theory, the Roswell Incident. So before we get into it, sit back, grab a drink, let's do it.
Alrighty, so Roswell, summer 1947, set the scene. Rancher Mac Brazel found unidentifiable.
Oh, so the accent on that.
Because I don't actually know his name.
Oh, okay.
Found unidentifiable debris in his sheep pasture. He called the sheriff. It was a jumble of metallic sticks with tape, chunks of plastic and foil, scraps of heavy gloss material. He called the sheriff, who didn't know what to make of it, so he called the local Air Force, and they claimed it was a crashed weather balloon. The pictures showing it was very clear it was not a weather balloon. People grew skeptical when the Air Force also, at the same time, were conducting dummy drops with dummies that were featureless, had latex skin and aluminum bones, and they would drop them into areas and see how fast it would take the Air Force to retrieve them from, like, super high up in planes, and they thought some local.
I want to be the one.
To be fair, some locals did think they kidnapped aliens to cover up what was going on and to, like, I guess
They kidnapped it?
Yeah, some locals thought that they kidnapped aliens to, like, test their theories of how long it would take them to recover an alien body.
Oh. Was it fast?
No.
No. Oh.
But since later after that, it came out that since World War II, a group of scientists created Project Mogul.
Okay.
Which it used high altitude balloons to carry low frequency sound centers into the
The troposphere.
Yeah.
I paid attention in school.
I didn't. So it acts as a sound channel. So they believe through the sound channel they could eavesdrop on Russia and, like, their nuclear testing.
Yeah.
So the result of that is what they said that the, like, UFO was that they found. But the project was highly classified during that time.
Yeah, no.
So they didn't tell them until 50 years later that even, like, the Air Force didn't really know what it was. They were just like, oh, it's a weather balloon. Mm-hmm. So, like, they didn't even know that it was this project. But a lot of people say that that's just, like, a conspiracy. That's basically what the conspiracy is based off of, is, like, the government and the Air Force said that wasn't a UFO. Mm-hmm. But everyone in that area thinks that was a UFO for sure. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
Wait, hold on, I'm looking up.
Like, what it looks like?
No, I'm just... Roswell's in New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought this might have, like... Well, I guess the next thing is, like, how close is Roswell to, like, Area 51? Because that could, like, tie hand in hand kind of thing.
So, how long has Area 51 been around?
A hot minute,
Probably
like 70 years or so.
Let me look, because I was going to say, if this happened in 1947...
I was like, what?
Area 51...
You know, I will say, though, going off of that story, I've always, like, there's been this one dream that I've had that kind of just sticks with me. And, like, it makes me think about it at night. And have you ever seen the show Ben 10?
Yeah.
It makes me think of, like, damn, what if, like, that little watch landed in my backyard one night? Like, what would I do? You know, am I going to check it out? Am I running away? Like, what am I doing? You know?
Personally, I would run away.
Personally, I would go right to that thing.
Because here's the thing. Okay, first of all, do you think aliens... I guess...
Oh, Ghost?
Not even...
Ghost, I'm skeptic. Alien, 110%.
Okay, same. Because I feel like it's a very selfish view. Like, we kind of talked about in one of our episodes that, like, people that sit there and they're like, there's no way aliens are real. So you think we are just the only ones in this silly little solar system? There's nobody else. It's just us, the nicest way possible, stupid ass humans.
I definitely think, I don't know, to believe that there's aliens, like how we'd see in like movies or whatever, that's a totally different thing than like maybe like microscopic organisms. You know what I'm saying? Microscopic organisms, I 100% believe, are like on a different planet somewhere, and that's really easy to like just believe, like statistically, and just like there's no doubt in my mind. Aliens that like walk around with like little guns and shoot you, I think those exist, but I'm more of like a ghost skeptic on that, where like I need to see it to believe it kind of thing.
Okay. Do you think that... Well, first of all, do you think what they found in Roswell was just a part of Project Mogul? Or do you think it was actually like an alien?
Now, to make this fun, I think it was an alien.
To make this fun. Because I also think that, it could have been a like super secret like government whatever. But wouldn't have someone heard that like hurtling from space versus if it was just chilling, like if it was just like a UFO?
So are you saying it was a government?
No, I think it was a UFO.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying like because their whole thing for it was like the weather balloon or whatever were to go up pretty fucking high.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like he wouldn't have just discovered it; he would have heard it crash landed to the ground.
It also it depends how far it was from his house, too. Like, if he's in his house...
Oh, the sheep pasture?
Yeah, how far the sheep pasture is, from his house. I definitely think that could, like... You would hear that... You would definitely hear the impact. But, like, I don't know if you'd hear the, like... Ooh,
What was that?
I don't know if you'd hear that. But... I think... I don't know... See, this is where it's funny. It gets a little funny for me. Because it's like... You would think... Even in 1947, if I were to live in 1947 and see what this thing looked like, if I'm the first one at this thing, I'd be like, that's definitely not a hot air. What the fuck? I would definitely be like, that's definitely not a hot air balloon. I know what a hot air balloon looks like. That's not it.
Because, like,
that's just not...
That's not a... That... If that's the thing is they're like, oh, it's a secret government thing. If the government is using all of the millions of dollars to make something that looks like it was made out of Reynolds wrap,
no, really.
I just don't think that's true. And also, who do you think is more anti-alien? The government? Jake and Marissa, specifically. Well, Marissa thinks we're getting all shot into space anyway when we die, so it doesn't matter. Shout out her.
Again. For a sec.
Do you think that more government officials think that aliens aren't real, or do you think it comes more from, like, locals?
I think government officials definitely think aliens are real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it definitely gets stirred up with, like, the locals. I think the locals have, like, the first kind of dip in it. And they're like, yeah, that's an alien. Because, like, here's the thing. Another thing with that, I guess, to be the devil's advocate in this instance right here, to be honest, the photo you just showed me, that looked like a school project.
Yeah.
And not to say, I think if it was an alien, the government, I feel like the government definitely wouldn't have known what some of those materials were. Because when you think about it, okay? When you think about it, like, really dig deep, if that spaceship would have crashed, okay? They have to be using some technology on that spaceship to be, like, out of this world. If they came from a whole different, like, side of... Because at that time... Fact check me. I'm not sure. You can definitely fact check me. Anyone listening, if you think I'm wrong. But at that time, I think we barely made it to the moon. We didn't even make it to the moon yet.
I don't think the moon landing was real.
Okay, that's all different. That's a different topic. That's a different topic. But theoretically, I guess for
The moon landing. I'm not good at history. Remember, we just discussed.
Oh my gosh.
The moon landing was in 1969.
Okay, exactly.
So that was like 22 years after.
Yeah. Well, you.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was bad at math.
All right. Still need fact checking though, but math.
Oh really?
No, but see, we didn't even have like space technology. So you would think like, if the government were to pick this up and like really analyze it, and they're like, oh, that was made out of aluminum. Oh, that's some wood. Oh, that's a little tiny like, or that's I don't know. That's copper.
You said, that's space boot.
Like, oh, that's cool. Like, I feel like if they're able to like identify most of the materials that came from that, definitely I think it would be able to be a like a man-made like project that they kept secret. But if they like picked all the stuff up and they laid it out like that, and they're like, yeah, I don't know what that is. That looks like copper, but that definitely doesn't conduct like copper. We're trying like this acid test on the copper, doesn't work. They're like, this is a totally different material that we've never seen before. Then I can be like, yeah, that would be an alien. Because when you think about it, for an alien to like come to Earth from anywhere in space, like they need to have some high tech. We can't even do that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we can send like a satellite to take a picture like 200,000 light years away. But like to go to like a different galaxy, or to go to like even Jupiter. I mean, we probably could, but like we haven't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you need some like really high tech equipment for that. And I feel like if there was an alien that came here and they crashed, obviously you can reverse engineer it kind of thing. But there's like a little sense of it where it's like, I don't know what this material is.
Yeah, and I also feel like we didn't have... It's hard to tell, because I feel like in the 1940s, even if it was like a government project, we didn't have the technology, especially if it was a technology that wasn't released to the public of like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That the local Air Force, the sheriff was like, this is definitely out of my pay grade.
So why am I here right now?
He said, Mr. Johnson down the road is getting mugged. I gotta go do that instead. But I feel like with the Air Force, they probably were, like, do you think it was one of those things where they actually studied, like, okay, this is the result of this, you know, blah, blah, blah? Or do you think it was one of those things where they were, like, telling everyone, like, nothing to see here, just an air balloon, and then they get back to the lab and they're like, no, but actually, what the fuck is this?
That's definitely what I personally think. Not being like devil's advocate or anything anymore. Like that's what I think.
Yeah.
Is that they're like trying to cover it up because they don't. I think the one thing about it is like,
I feel
you're
like
gonna
they
create
make lies
mass
first.
hysteria if you say like, that's an alien.
No, yeah.
We just got compromised.
Well, especially since they were doing their dummy testing of like things that looked like aliens, and they were like, oh, we were just seeing like if one of our own got shot out of the sky, what we would do. It's like, shouldn't you already have that process down pat? That like, I think that a lot of times the government with a lot of things are they release a statement first. They release a statement first of like, oh. For context, I just gave the bird to a car. Anyway, I think their first reaction is just going to be, oh, no, it was definitely a weather balloon. You guys, oh, you're so tired. It's okay. Yeah. And then later they're like, probably an alien.
And I think the thing with that, too, it's a lot easier to hide or cover it up, especially in 1947. Because there's no like footage to get like.
No one had a ring camera
exactly.
to see it
there was
falling
only, like,
from the sky.
One guy that checked it out first, and then like everyone came.
Yeah, it was literally the rancher going out to like check on a sheep, and then he was like, "Huh," and then he called the cop, and then like the one town sheriff probably, came to his farm and was like, "I have to call someone a little above my pay grade there."
Yeah, see, and that's like where they could just be like, yeah, it was just a test flight, like that's what it was. But like now, you see the stuff now, and you can whip out your phone. That plane right there could be a UFO.
Could be.
It's not, but it could be. And like all we have to do is just whip out our phone. Just it might not be the best footage, but like.
But you could still take a picture of it.
Yeah, exactly. And like even with like the Navy doing like the aircraft, like the jets flying and like taking like a photo of like, oh, what is that? That's where it's like, okay.
How often do you think we see planes or we see something in the sky or like a shooting star that's actually like a UFO?
I think none.
Never?
I think, to be completely honest with you, I think...
Are you pro-alien or not?
I think seeing an alien is super, super, super rare.
Okay.
And I say that. I am 100% pro-alien. Which... Hashtag pro-alien, I guess? I don't know.
Pro-alien?
I don't know. But I say that because if an alien were to be here, think about it. Alien were to like come and observe DSW right here or the Dale Mabry. They're gonna be like, want to be secretive. They're gonna want to be like stealth mode, hovering as high as possible, like just like kind of observing, seeing what they see. I don't think like they're gonna try to hide themselves, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna. It's like very easy to see or anything. Like obviously they're gonna come at night. They're gonna be as stealthy as possible. They're just observing, so they're gonna be super high up in the air. Like I think the probability of seeing an alien is super low, just because of like the technology they might have and everything. But definitely the stories of like abductions and everything, where like you're just driving on like a highway at 12 o'clock at night.
That happened to my mom.
She got abducted.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting her on the podcast. We're cutting it right now. I'm getting her on this podcast. Say that story. Don't tell it. Because
okay.
I want to hear her on
okay.
that. But...
people are probably going to listen to it and they're like, your mom was just on drugs. Like, nah. She remembers, like, some details of it, too. Which is trippy.
I want to... That we're going to name the podcast Matt's Mom Got Abducted.
And if you met my mom, you're gonna be like,
she's the grooviest lady I've ever met.
Groovy.
I love Miss Mary.
As you should.
But I think driving down like a little 2-lane road, 12 o'clock at night in the woods. I think if they're trying to abduct you, they're gonna snatch you. They're gonna
take
get
you,
you.
Keelys, take you.
They're gonna take whatever they want because you can do nothing about it, and like. That's when you'll see them. And, like, maybe they'll wipe your memory afterwards. Maybe they won't. Maybe you'll go insane after. Like, that's the thing. No one's going to believe you, too.
No. And I feel like even, like, because she's told people about it. And I feel like people, like, their first thing is, like, well, that's not true. And it's like, okay. But those same people will be like, oh, my God, I was almost kidnapped at, like, Ross. And it's literally just someone literally walking past them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But, and also... I feel like aliens aren't going around abducting everyone.
Exactly. I feel like that's a really rare occurrence.
A lot of times, I feel like the reason they are doing that is to, like...
Eat you?
Maybe.
Okay.
But I also think it's more so, like, research purposes.
Oh, I think so. And, it's funny, because you're like, why would they need to research? It's like...
Because we keep probably sending things into their planet, and it keeps landing on their stuff, and they're like, what the fuck is this?
That is true. But I do think there are aliens and everything like that. I think they're just very good at hiding.
Oh, yeah.
There could, like, not to sound like Men in Blacky here.
How big do you think they are? Like, do you think they're human size or, like, 8 feet tall?
I think they're, like, 8 feet tall. High-key.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're human size to 8 feet tall. I do not want like a 3 foot tall alien running around.
Like E.T.?
Yeah, I don't want one of those.
Stop, I love E.T.
No, I like E.T. too, but like for my own like mental health and like sake, I don't want
my own mental health.
Like that's just freaky. That's scary.
How is 8 feet, an 8 foot alien less scary than
Because LeBron's like 6'9". Or he's close to
Are you LeBron?
No, but like saying like a LeBron is like, no. You know, you might have to look up a little bit, but like seeing like a 3-foot midget coming after you.
Yeah, that would be probably a little rough and tough.
Like with a gun or something. Like, I don't want that.
Do you think they have like? What if they pulled out, like, everyone in their head thinks it's like a bunch of like lasers and beams. What if they pull out
Just a regular pistol,
like a rifle or like an AK? Yes.
You definitely got that from somewhere. Like, definitely did not make that. They just it's a GTA store. They just rated it. No, I think for me, like, personally, I feel more comfortable with, like, you know, like a humanoid, like 8 foot tall, like little alien, more than like an insect alien or like a 3 foot like midget alien.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like in movies when they show like I know I'm gonna say this and they're gonna be like, what about this movie? Yeah. But I feel like in a lot of movies, the one thing I think straight to is episode 2 of Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, and Obi-Wan goes to Kamino, and he is greeted by the aliens. I don't know if have you ever seen that?
I've never seen any Star Wars movie.
Oh, okay. So this isn't gonna make sense to you, but you know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is. Okay. Alright. Whoa.
He said start over.
Whoa, I'm gonna have to talk to you after this. But that's fine. So there's this character, he goes to this one planet because they're making clone troopers, like the soldiers.
Is he the same as Obi-Wan, or is he the same as Luke Skywalker?
He's not.
Is he a bad guy?
No, he's a good guy.
Okay.
You can stop asking
then
questions
why
now.
Why is he not the same?
Because there's multiple good guys, multiple bad guys.
Fine.
Anywho, he goes to the planet to check on like these clones. And he's greeted by these, like, aliens. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. And he's greeted by these aliens that are very tall, long neck, everything. They look super nice. And those are the type of aliens I would want to see. More
tall, long neck.
Yeah, see, like this? Something like that?
Oh. They look like praying mantises.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of want to see something like that. But, like, the aliens from, like, Area 50... Or, not Area 51, but... What's that movie called? Area 15 or something like that? Or something where they're kind of, like, roaches, insects?
Like Alien versus Predator?
No. I definitely don't want to see an alien or a predator.
No, that...
Oh, my God.
They look like face huggers.
I had nightmares about that for so long. But... I don't know. There's also, like... I've had dreams where, I'm like, oh, an alien crashes in my backyard, like... And, like, a little person comes out of it, or, like, a person comes out of it, like, what am I gonna... Am I, like, what am I doing in that? Am I hiding? Am I running away? Am I telling someone? Or am I going up to greet them and be like, hey, what's up?
I think I would go up and talk to them.
And then...
But I also depends if they look mean.
You can look nice and beat someone up.
No, aliens are different. I don't think they have probably a ton of facial expression.
What I'm saying, though, is, like, obviously, you wouldn't know if they're, like, nice or mean. Like, I feel like your instinct would be to, like, just hide or, like, run away. Because you're not sure of what that is.
That's
and if
fair.
it's not, like, nice or mean or whatever.
Do you think that, like, Area 51 or like Roswell, whatever, like... Do you think with Area 51 that they are doing alien testing? Or do you think it actually is just like a flight testing facility?
Say that again? I'm so sorry. I just zoned out right there.
Did you fail?
No, I didn't. By the way, semester pretty much over for me. I did pretty good.
I love that for you.
Did pretty good.
So proud of you.
Yeah,
Mine ends Monday.
You should have seen these presentations I did. They were... They were due on Thursday. I had 2 presentations, my finals, on Thursday with my group. We started the presentations probably on Monday, Tuesday. We did really good.
I love
that.
that.
Raise exec said, yeah, that
He
shit
said,
was
I'm taking
good.
it.
No, he literally said, yeah, those are some good ideas we're thinking about implementing into the 25th anniversary season next year. Obviously, some we can't do because of time, but we really like your quarter century meal deal. We like your behind the scenes video, like all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, well, compensate us if you use it. So give us some money. Give us a job.
Would they?
No. They just take it.
That's so terrible.
And then I remember this is a little sorry for the off topicness right here, but and then my second one, we did it on the Yankees. The first one was on the Rays. The second one was on the Yankees. And so me and my 3 group members, we gave our presentation. It was the worst one, out of that day. There was 3 that day. No one showed up to class.
Oh,
This is the last day, and we were like, fine, that's fun. Like, I'm okay with that, And we gave the presentation. It was the worst one. It was so bad because we did it like 2 days before, and the teacher was like, she didn't say it was bad, but we could tell by her facial expression.
She was like, it's not good.
Yeah, she's like, this is actually pretty ass. And so she was like, I wouldn't be a good teacher if I didn't challenge you. And I'm like, please don't challenge. Like, don't be a good teacher.
And then you said, actually be a terrible teacher.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm doing a good job.
No, and she was like saying like, oh, I like this. Obviously, all the stuff I said. Sorry, Andrew and Michael. But she said some of the stuff I said was pretty good. And then other stuff was like kind of bad. Like our chart, like our calendar and everything. She said, go to the chart. And we all looked at each other and we turned to the chart, and it was just Monday through Friday, not even Saturday. And it was like, what are you going to do for each day? I was like, TikTok Thursday, Wallpaper Wednesday, First Pitch Friday, all the way through. And she was like, that was shit. And we all started laughing. And she's like, why are you laughing? Because we're like, we know it's bad. We did it the other day.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I'm glad you guys know then. But afterwards, she said we looked good. Because we were the only ones in like button-ups and like slacks and everything. So she's like, I'm going to give y'all extra. She's like, I'm going to give y'all extra points on dressing up and like looking good. I was like, all right. She wants us.
Yeah, probably. She heard you have a podcast.
She also didn't show up for half the classes. She's
Good
a
for
soccer.
her.
She's a soccer referee.
For who?
MLS, Major League Soccer.
Wow, good for her.
And so, since USA by the way, USA lost today, 3-1 against Netherlands.
Do you watch soccer?
Nope.
Me neither.
Every 4 years, I come out hiding. Is the World Cup every 4 years or 6 years?
I actually couldn't tell you because I think soccer is incredibly boring.
Okay. Well, anywho, they played today. They lost, but she canceled class on Tuesday because she wanted us to watch the game against Iran, and they won. So she accounted that to us skipping class. And there's plenty of other times where she's like, "Oh, I'm in Costa Rica. My flight didn't come in."
Oh, I'm in Costa Rica. Hee hee.
I'm like, "All right."
You're like, yeah, me too.
And then on Thursday, she was like, "Oh, I was thinking about canceling class to watch more of the games," and we were like, "Why didn't you?" I didn't want to, because they had presentations on Tuesday and they just recorded it and submitted it, and I was like, "Why couldn't you cancel it today
Yeah.
and just submit it?"
Was that an option?
Nope. Our group member emailed because he thought it was recorded. She said, "Nope, you had to show up." I said, "Okay." Anywho, we did good. I think we passed. I mean, I definitely passed. I don't know if I passed the presentation, but I passed the class. So
And that's all that
stress-free.
matters.
Yeah. I wanted an A. Might not get an A. Wanted a B. Might get a B.
So might not get a B.
Might not even get a B either. But we passed. Still feel overwhelmed and anxious. But we're living.
And
Every day
also-
above ground is a great day. Remember that.
I hate that.
Okay.
I hate that.
All right, let's go back to this alien.
Not the alien. Just one alien.
The alien, the Roswell alien.
Do you think that Area 51 and whatever like that is actually being used as a flight test facility, or do you think they're
I do.
actually using it as like
I think it's both.
aliens?
I know what you're gonna say. That's both.
Why?
Because don't fact check this. Anyone listening to this right now, don't fact check this. But
Fact check it.
I would think that Area 51 is like a U.S. Air Force base. Maybe. I don't see it being like an Army base. I also don't see it being a Navy base. So it's
Let's
more
look.
like Please don't look. But like realistically, if you were to think about it, it would be more of like a Air Force base. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
So, with it being an Air Force base, obviously they would do Air Force related shenanigans there.
Oh, shenanigans.
Like the weather balloon and everything. Or like a weather balloon or like secret spacecrafts and everything. But I also think it could be doubled as, you know, spooky alien stuff. But I also...
Especially since it's in the middle of like nowhere.
Exactly.
It's like Utah. Sorry,
It's
everybody.
Nevada.
That's
Nevada.
It said Utah.
Area 51?
Yeah. That's
I'm
so
gonna fact
embarrassing.
I'm gonna fact check you now.
Do you know anything about it? Wow.
No, because I wanted to go storm it. No, I'm just kidding.
We get a cease and desist for the podcast.
Area 51.
Where is it?
Can you read?
No, I can't. I'll show you. It says
Utah. Area 51 is in Lincoln County, Nevada. What does yours say?
Utah.
Where does it say? No, Utah. Where does it say that? Because right here it says Area 51 is common name for a highly classified United States Air Force facility within the Nevada test area and training range.
I don't actually know because it's
Exactly.
Utah.
Groom Lake, Nevada.
Read it.
Get the out of here.
I'm really just.
You should be embarrassed right now.
I am not, because I read somewhere that it was Utah.
Maybe I should be telling the stories from now on because your information is a little cuckoo caca.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even. Never mind.
Go ahead, say it.
No.
Go ahead and say
No,
it.
because this goes with the history and the geography thing that I'm not too good at.
You already admitted that.
Where is Utah in relation to Nevada?
It's like right above it.
Which is
Right above it?
no, like where?
Do I need to show you a map right now? It's on the western side of the United States.
I think I'm not well traveled. I didn't go to Greece like you did.
I'm actually gonna beat someone up after this. I might actually commit a homicide.
Well, as long as you bring the aliens with you, that's fine.
Okay. Oh, it's right next to Nevada.
See? You don't know either.
Madison, I'm pretty sure if I asked where Utah was to you, you'd be like, yeah, it's right next to,
I'd have been like, it's west.
It's right next to Maine.
It's west.
It's-
I know.
It's probably about an
Maine.
800-mile drive from Florida, actually. It's probably right next to Chicago and Michigan.
I'm not gonna lie. I know where like Florida is.
Good, you live there.
California.
Good, it's on the westernmost
New
side of the United
York.
States. Good, you also visit that place a lot.
Maybe the Dakotas. I know they're towards the top.
There's quite a bit of states towards the top.
Well, that one's
Right above Nevada is Idaho and a little bit of Oregon. But Utah is right next to Nevada. It's the very nexternmost state, I guess.
Mm.
Is that confusing to you?
No, not convinced.
Not convinced?
Mm-mm.
You should be convinced because you don't know where it is.
Guess we'll never find out. Anyway, so Area 51 in Nevada. I feel like it has to be... I definitely do think it's both. I wonder if they have... Like, do you think there's parts of the government that work with the aliens?
Yeah.
Like, what part do you think?
I don't know because it's classified.
Yeah.
See, here's
Maybe,
okay.
like, special relations.
I want to be in that part. But I got two stories. So one is I heard that for Area 51 is that to go to work there, they have to fly on like this Airbus or plane, like this Boeing 747, you know, and it's marked with like red on its wings or something like that. And all the workers just go onto the tarmac, get up in the plane, and they fly to Area 51, land in Area 51, and then go in. Like, they can't drive there. They can't... They all go in at the same time.
Probably, maybe so they can't bring anyone?
I think if you drove there, you could bring someone. Or you can't bring anyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, like, that doesn't stop anyone. Put them in the trunk.
Have you seen Border Control? I'm pretty sure it's like that. Okay. Well, anywho, they have a plane that they just land right at Area 51 because it has that big tarmac and everything. And so I thought that was really interesting that you can't even, like, to go to work, you have to go to the airport, get on this plane. You don't have any clue on like where it's taking you, kind of thing. And you just land and you go into work and you do your thing. And then also I saw that like they do, obviously there's that like raid or whatever back in 2019, or when was it, 2018, 2019?
2019.
Something like that, where like everyone wanted to raid the Area 51. But like it's scary because you go out there and you don't even know. There's like a couple cars, and those are just like obviously like MPs or like police officers or whatever, like military people. But like there's like snipers in like the mountains looking at you.
Damn.
Like 24/7, and it's like you couldn't even like get in if you wanted to. Like if you got past the gate, you couldn't even get near.
Yeah, that's why like I feel it can't be just a flight test facility.
No.
Because yeah, there's still going to be a stupid level of security with any government, anything. There's a stupid level of security. But like I've been to bases, it's nowhere near that. Like at a regular like base.
Oh, like MacDill down.
Like MacDill, or like I've been to the Air Force, not the Air Force, the Navy base in Florida, like one in Florida, and like it's the same thing. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely not to the level of snipers looking at you from every direction.
Now, I do think Area 51 has kind of lost its, like,
Sparkle.
pizzazz. Yeah. Just because, like, now I feel like there's more places they could, like, build. Since...
Yeah.
When was Area 51 made? We'll both pull out our phones to look it up. Just so we don't sound stupid over here. 1955. Too slow. So, like, yeah, obviously, like, in 1955, Area 51 would have been great, but now, with, like, the amount of technology, they could definitely build something in, like, the side of a mountain.
Oh, yeah.
That's way more, like, secretive and everything.
Which, I wonder if they'll ever come clean. I know that they did make the new, like...
I definitely think with
like, I know they made the new logo that had the UFO on it, and then they took it back. Do you think that they'll ever tell, like, the general public, like, hey guys, no worries, we do have a alien.
Well, they kind of did something like that. Because they acknowledged... Because I don't know if you remember, back in 2020, they released the footage, all the alien footage. Of, like, what the Navy, like, doing the test flights and them seeing stuff on the camera and, like, literally just, like, this dot they're following. And it's, like, right above the water. And it's going super fast. So fast that the camera can barely track it on the jet. And then it just boop, shoots up. And, like, they showed multiple videos of that happening. And I think it's, like, one of those things where, you know, they're aware of it. They don't know. They said they have no clue what it is. It was officially released by the Pentagon. And I think it's a still ongoing, like, court case with the Supreme Court and the Pentagon and everything. So I definitely think that it's, you know, they're aware. But I think they released it at the time because of, like, COVID. Yeah. Everyone was, like, this mass hysteria, like, COVID, like, we're losing our jobs, like, this, that. I forgot there was, like, something else happening around COVID that was, like, really big. But I think they just released it because they're like, okay, people are scared. Boom, let's do this. Like, and it's so funny. I remember them releasing that and it being on the news. And I would go on Twitter and no one would pay attention to it.
No.
Like, literally everyone was just like, COVID, or, like, whatever. Or, like, I think it was, like, giant hornet wasp or something like that. And, you know. And it was just so funny because, like, literally the government, the U.S. government, just unveiled this huge thing that they've been hiding for years. And it's like, they just released it. And people are just like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
But COVID.
Yeah, but COVID, though.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, that's crazy. And they definitely knew when to do that. Like, they definitely knew what they were doing when they did that.
Yeah. Which really is unfortunate because I don't think that anyone, like, I get why, because I feel like then people would try to blame, like, crimes and stuff on, like, aliens. No, because people are stupid. I do think, though, that there should be more of an open conversation around aliens.
Where you don't sound crazy talking about it?
Yeah, because I feel like when people talk about aliens, they think of, like, some, like, crazy conspiracy, like, with, like, a bare bulb in their room that's like, oh, I've gotten abducted once. But I feel like that's, again, very self-absorbed and very selfish to be like, we're the only organisms here.
Well, for people that are listening right now, you can't see me, but I have my tin cap on. So...
The tin cap.
I made an aluminum foil cap. I have it on my head right now.
We're actually in the middle of a field. We are hoping to...
We're actually about to just driving through the gate of Area 51.
Beat me up, Scotty. Could you imagine? We show our student IDs. We're like,
hey, this is for a project.
70 clearance. We would get shot on site. It would be like, they definitely work for somebody.
No, we're just
Stupid.
not white.
Not white. Don't say all that.
No, we're students.
No, we're don't shoot.
But I do agree with you on that, where, like, a lot of people won't listen to you because if you talk about aliens, because, you know, people are entitled to their own opinions.
Even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong. And, I don't know, I would like to lift that kind of stigma against it, you know, like...
I think people need to be more open to the idea that you are not the only person in the universe.
Yeah, I think it's harder to convince someone... Like, I think it's really cool that your mom has an abduction story, but I think it's way harder to convince someone that you were abducted.
Oh, yeah.
Than to convince them if you believe in aliens kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So... I don't know how the stigma will go, or like how, like, when it would be where, like, people, like, kind of believe that you got abducted, but yeah, no, people statistically, I took like 3 college level statistic classes, let me tell you, and every time that I say statistically, I've been right. So...
Okay.
So, like, statistically speaking, if... Like, well, there's no way. There's no way that there's not another living organism in this universe.
Because how I think about it
universe.
Is, like, there's so much that we don't know about space. That, like, you can't possibly sit there... Because I think people's biggest arguments is, if there was other life on other... You know, if there was other life on other planets, then don't you think we would go? But that is also putting it under the assumption that aliens have the same organs and have the same, like, physical makeup that we do. So, yeah, we probably couldn't survive. That doesn't mean that there are beings that just thrive off of vibes and stars.
That's true. To be honest, too, okay, I don't want to get into, like, religion, because I know there's some people that... No. I'm just going to touch on this briefly. But I feel like there are some people that are like, no, that's not possible. But theoretically saying, if Earth kind of just got flooded or whatever, and, like, back in the day, humans had to, like, live in that, I feel like now we would most likely have, like, not gills per se, but, like, maybe extra webbing in between our fingers to kind of help us swim, because we would adapt to that. We would adapt to that. Like, we would evolve. I know some people say we don't, but we would evolve to fit that environment that we're in. So who's to say that aliens would not adapt to fit the environment that they're in, where maybe their atmosphere is mostly, I don't know, helium or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, their lungs might be able to take in helium better than ours could, or something like that. Or, like, you know, just their skin can absorb higher temperatures because their planet's set at like 200 degrees Celsius, you know? So it's like, I feel like you said, maybe they adapted to their environment. Also, I think that I saw one thing where it was like, why would aliens even want to come see us? Like, if they're able to reach us, we're primal to them. We're cavemen. Yeah. If they're able to reach us, we're like cavemen to them. Yeah. Everything that we have, they have 100 times better than us. Yeah. You know, so like, why would you want to like inspect us? Like, because we're not a threat to them.
How I look at it as like, they look at us as if we're like when you walk past like an anthill.
Exactly.
Like, you're just kind of like, oh
cute.
Oh, cute. Look at them going to their stupid little houses.
Yeah.
Like, aliens don't really need, like, if they're able to bounce back and forth between space and between, you know, here, if that is the case, they don't need to be checking in on what we're doing. They don't care. They are light years ahead of what we've been doing.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of it has to do with humans thinking they are the smartest. They themselves are the smartest beings on Earth, and that's just not it. Or just, well,
I'm barely past my classes, so I know damn well we're not the smartest in the universe.
I don't know anything, so really not that either.
I mean, yeah, that's what I think. I think if we haven't gotten contacted yet, it's because they have no need to.
No.
And if
they're like, damn, they're stupid.
And if they have, it's because they're interested, and maybe they came a couple times. And they're like, all right,
yeah.
Like, we're not gonna get into this now, but aliens. I believe to a certain extent, aliens might have helped with like building of the pyramids and like very ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
Because they saw and they're like, oh, let's kind of upgrade them real quick, you know?
Well, because I know with pyramids, at least, there's something about them that, like, we didn't have the technology to build. I don't remember exactly what it was. I saw it somewhere on the History Channel, but like, or Ancient Aliens or something.
You didn't listen in class, but History Channel. Really?
No, really. That like, there's some technology and some ways that the pyramids and stuff like that were built that just don't make sense for the time period that they were allegedly built in. Mm-hmm. That they were aided by aliens. Because I also feel like I almost feel like back then, like, I know I've said this about ghosts, where like back then they didn't see movies or anything, so they were just kind of like, you want to help me with my pyramid?
Yeah.
Cool. Like, I don't think that they're like scared of like, oh my god, I saw Alien versus Predator, this is going to end really bad. It's more so like, oh.
I think they saw him as like a god.
Yeah, of like, oh my god. So, and also, I wonder if that plays into like different religions and stuff like that.
Definitely does. With like hieroglyphics in Egypt, like
if they
portray...
see like an alien and they're like, oh my god, this is an entity of like, you know, prosperity or whatever, versus like, oh, this is a freak. You know?
It's a freak of nature over here.
Freak of nature.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because when you look at some of like the Aztec hieroglyphics and the Egyptian hieroglyphics, and you see some whack ass stuff on there, like you see that helicopter, you're like, oh, okay, what's going on here?
Oh, really?
What are we doing here?
You see an iPad.
Yeah, you see an iPad. You see this dude with this big head, and you're like,
interesting.
Freak or alien?
Or alien, let me know.
Really smart dude, or what's going on here?
Guy shaped like an AirPod. We'll see. Alrighty, I think we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. We will see you next week. Bye.